Hello and welcome to the old Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit, but before that, I'm going to put together a case for my Raspberry Pi, because why not? That's building. We're building the case and putting the components together, so that'll be fun. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the link of the site, and the Tier 2 blue emote. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with said emotes. If you are not currently a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes, or you could just be a lurker and chill, and that's also okay. Aristophan is here. Hello, Aristophan. Aristophan is our Tier 2 subscriber at the moment, our only Tier 2. Throwing in those emotes. Appreciate that. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so tonight I got this Raspberry Pi case that I bought that came. It's not just the case, because it came with some other accessories that are cool. We'll look at the overhead for all this, but I got a fan for the case, which I got to assemble. I got some heat sinks and some little footies for the bottom of the case, and it came with a power cable. My Raspberry Pi already had a power cable, but this one is different because it's got a on-off button, I should say, not switch, button, which is great because my previous power supply did not. So that power supply goes into emergency uses, and this one becomes the main one that came with the kit. And of course, also, I have my Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. Now, will I be using this Raspberry Pi in the future for anything? Not really at the moment. It's been in storage for a very long time. It's now obviously out of storage, and it's hanging out here in the place. Hey, Arctic Sloth, welcome, welcome. So I don't know quite what I'm going to do with this Raspberry Pi. I was thinking I might put Pi-hole on it, but maybe I won't. I might use it as, right now it's got RetroPie on it, and then also I can load videos in the USB and just play videos on it. So I think it might be my retro. I might plug it into the big TV, and it might just be another thing to play games on. Because I can plug a controller in, obviously. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this Raspberry Pi at the moment. But yeah, maybe Pi-hole, maybe a little server kind of thing going on there. I'm not really sure. I wouldn't want to use it consistently, if it was I might want to mess around and learn how to use Pi-hole, which is a intermediary that basically just blocks all kinds of tracking and ads from coming through, which is neat on the network. But maybe I don't want to run my Pi constantly, because its main purpose is the next time that I ever sell things at a convention, it's an eye catcher. It's going to be on display, playing videos on a small monitor, drawing the eye of people so they will approach the table, because that shit's cool. It used to be in a knockoff, the not real Lego NES case, but that case was falling apart and was weird, and I never really liked it, so I'm replacing it with just a standard case. And I figured we'd do that on stream because that could be fun. Other things. Then we're going to move on to a kit that came out last year that I should have bought last year, but financially wasn't secure when it went on sale. Premium Bandai kit. The double pack of the Vayeate and the Mercurius high grades from Gundam Wing. They are basically very similar in design. Just the heads are different, and then the weapons are different, and they're different colors, obviously. But we're going to build one. We're going to build the Mercurius first, and then the Vayeate second, because I like the Mercurius. So I figured we would start with the red friend. Red is a color I prefer over blue myself. Let's see how we're doing here as far as the views go. I got a few people here in chat, which is nice. A few friends joining us this eve. So yeah, we'll get into some model kit building some assembly of a case, and then model kit building. I did buy that Lashbrook did buy that kit last year and still haven't built it. Well, there you go. Now you'll see how easy it is on my end, and maybe that'll inspire you to move that up on your backlog list. Sorry, A rare, no glasses, Pat. I had a a hair. No, that's... Is that a fucking scratch? How did my glasses get scratched? When did my Ah, fuck. I was like, oh, weird. Oh, weird. My glasses have like a hair on them. No, there's a scratch on one of my lenses. I do not fucking have the money to buy new lenses. I really hope that comes off with a deep cleaning and it's just a surface scratch. How the fuck did I scratch my glasses like this? God damn it. Sorry, I'm pissed off. Also, it's weird to see me in the video without my glasses on. You can see where like but the sun has not penetrated my skin because I wear glasses to protect it. But yeah, one of my lenses somehow got scratched today. I guess it must have gotten scratched while I was climbing on a ladder to tend to a tree. I must have scratched my glasses then. Jesus Christ. Arctic Sloth, none of my friends wanted to hit the town, so I ordered sushi burrito, and now I'm here. Arctic Sloth, enjoy your Saturday evening here watching this stream. But yeah, I just had to fucking fundraise. I'm going to have to live with these glasses. God damn it. I'm going to have to live with these glasses. I really do hope that I can clean them up and suddenly it won't be scratched, but fuck, I'm pissed off. We're going to have a great time tonight, but I'm unhappy. Fuck. What else can I say? All right, I'll reply to my own tweets, see if we can get a few more friends here, because it's Saturday night, and I would love for more people to hang out. But let's get this case together. Yeah, I did have to do some yard work today, and part of that yard work did involve climbing a ladder into a tree, and I guess I scratched my lenses on the branches of that palm, which is infuriating. We'll see after I clean them up if that maybe I can buff that out somehow. I don't know. Grasping at straws there. Anyway, let's go to the overhead. There's the overhead. Great. We did it. All right, so better your lenses than your eyes. Lashbrook, you make a fair point. So we've got our a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus right here. There's the Raspberry Pi. We've got some heat sinks that came with this kit and some little rubber feet to put on the bottom of our case. We have the case itself. Many different layers of plastic that we will have to pull out and assemble. We have the fan that we will be putting in here, along with screws, including an extra screw and bolt, which is nice. Or a nut, I should say, which is nice. And we'll have to figure that out. And then our power, which we'll put aside for now, which does indeed have the on and off button, which is nice to have. I'm going to plug this in to an outlet and set this aside because we don't need it right now. But we will need this power. Look at that cute little fan. Yes, Blue. That is a tiny little fan. We can put 5 volts or 3 volts to it. We are going to be putting 3 volts to this because I don't need a lot of air circulating here for the kind of work I'm doing with this Raspberry Pi, since it'll only be on for brief periods of time. And it'll be kind of low powered. So I would rather have the fan just be quieter. And so we'll be doing 3 volts for that. Oh, and then we also have an instructions, and I have a video from the Amazon listing that I can watch if we need it. We are going to start by putting our heat sinks on here. So we'll just kind of move this out of the way. What we can do is we'll also need to take we'll get to that in a second. Let's put heat sinks on this first. Put on the bottom here. We've got a tiny heat sink and then 2 bigger heat sinks. These heat sinks go on the CPU, the ROM, and the RAM. And they just have a little double-sided tape thing here. So we're just going to pull clear. We can actually zoom in a little bit for this kind of work here. We can zoom in a little bit here. But yeah, we can just peel back. And then this is the small one. So I goofed already. So we'll just do the small one first. Small one's just going to go right over here. And then, look, do I actually think these heat sinks are going to do anything? Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to make a huge difference, but They will help regulate the heat, which is important because this isn't a super enclosed case, but it's still an enclosed case. They look cool. And also, yes, they also do look cool. You're not wrong. Let's see if I can peel this way. Nope, that just pulled it there. All right, let me get Spudger out here. And we'll try to remove this. My nails just aren't going to do it. Yeah, this will do. There we go. And then we're going to put this here on the bottom. And then we will kind of hold it over there. And then we got one more to put on here on the top. And then we can move on to the actual case once we get this going. Let's see. Tonight, what we can talk about here. My God Gundam has been prepared for shipping. It has not shipped out yet. It looks like it'll be shipped out next week. But they have prepared it for that from Gundam Planet, which is great. Because that kit has been delayed a lot coming out of Japan, and then it has started to arrive in some stores. And I was like, when do I get it? Apparently, the answer to that is soon. But also, I saved a bunch of money on if I had bought it in a store, even with shipping. And the Marine type model kit that I pre-ordered from Premium Bandai, that is also coming this month. So that's great. Okay, so we got screws going here to a little nut, so we're going to disassemble this. And we'll get this lid off, and then we will do the assembly of the fan. And then we'll have to put the power on the fan there in a minute, but we'll do that. This is not going to take long to do, but I thought it would be kind of neat. And why not do this on stream? Because we don't do a lot of tech stuff here. Rarely do tech repairs and like, look, if anyone else is looking for one, it looks like USA Gundam Store has them up for purchase now. Yeah, I believe Gundam Planet might also be taking additional orders. This is still technically building. Yes. So the reason I decided to do this was because I had to do it anyway. And I thought it would be kind of fun to do this a little different from what I normally do. But also, look, I don't want to get into the like repairs or the restoration. Like, that's not my style. That's not my scene. There are plenty of people that do that out there. That doesn't seem to be something that I would be particularly interested in doing. But I like those kind of channels, and it's fun to do something kind of approaching that sort of content. All right, so what we can do is we're going to need this over here, and then we can just kind of put all of the layers towards the edge here, because there are many layers of plastic. And we can just put all these layers aside, and then we have the bottom layer, which we'll need in a bit. This is the top layer. This is the top of the top. So we're going to flip this over because we have to put the fan in underneath. And then let me just quickly look at the instructions there. Yeah, doesn't really matter. It does matter what direction. We want to have the fan facing down. We also have to be careful that as I open this, I don't lose anything here included. And also make sure that I get all of the bolts out of here. Yes, there is one screw extra, which is nice. And there is one not extra, which is nice too. We gotta make sure that this spare one isn't still stuck in the fan. And we want to do label side down. So this is the bottom layer, because this is the top layer. If I remember correctly, I'm just going to quickly look at the last step on these instructions to make sure. Yes, so this is the top layer. Yes, that is the top layer. Okay, so then this is this way, and this has to go like this, and then the cable can kind of just go here. And I think this cable is fine here, really, no matter what. But we'll keep it like this. And then we just have to, how do they screw this in? They screw this in with these on the inside, so coming up for the bottom. Great. So this, we'll just get one in. Oops. Got to make sure that we're putting it in the right way. So yeah, so it's going to go like that. And then, wait, that's the wrong, what am I doing? I was like, that's too long. That's because those are for the base. See, this is also good that I'm doing it in front of an audience because I have to be paying attention to what I'm doing. I mean, it's bad because there's an audience and I could get distracted. It's good because I have some accountability because I don't want to screw this up. I certainly don't want anyone to search for this particular case and then find my video and when it's on YouTube and use that as like a tutorial. I should put, there is nothing that I have never called this a tutorial. I did not include the word tutorial in my promotion of tonight's stream. None of what I do should ever be considered a tutorial, but specifically this, since it involves technology. I did have a comment a long time ago. My VOD archives usually have like just spam comments, but occasionally one of the videos breaks through. It's usually for something like if I'm doing something that like not a lot of people have built or at least have built and put up on YouTube. Usually those end up getting hits. And I did get a comment for someone who just goes, just talks a lot. And I was like, yeah, I do. I don't stop talking. And I guess that person was looking for just like a sped up video of the assembly of said kit, you know, like, which was not that video. Obviously the video I made was me talking about like anime and video games and wrestling and not that. So I was like, yep, that is true. I mean, that is a Pat Bear stream. I am indeed talking about a bunch of stuff. All right, so then we got to get this lined up right. What's going on here? Try the other one. This one's not screwing in here. Other things we can talk about tonight. Last night, I was hanging out on Vectroid's stream, and we were watching some TGS stuff. We'll talk more about TGS in a bit. I got a whole article about stuff announced there. We can see if there's anything that interests you in those announcements. But yeah, the lovely Vectroid Rara had me on to talk about, to watch the streams. It was very fun because the guests were a bunch of different VTubers with their VTuber personas, and then just me. And because I was a human, the only human, they set up like a laptop, like a PNG of a laptop, and then I just appeared on the laptop, which I thought was very funny. It felt pretty Space Ghost because there was like a desk set. It was very Space Ghost coast to coast, and I really enjoyed that. It was also just fun to like hang out and talk. That was nice as well. To shoot the shit and chat. All right, we got this extra here, so we're going to put the extra parts in there. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to guest and to hang out. Ramona's audience is lovely. And we watched like an award show thing for odd games. Some of which were odd controlling schemes. Some were just like odd designs, which was really fun. And it was just like nice to do that. And then we were right before I left, we were watching the Sega presser, which had a lot. They were spending so much time on Like a Dragon Ishii, which is an old game. And the point I made that it was so weird for a Japan-focused show to be talking about a game that already came out in Japan but didn't come out in the rest of the world. And I was like, they're spending a whole lot of time on this game. Felt odd to me. Okay, so we got that going here. That's good. Now we can start putting our layers together here. I'll get my instructions ready to go there. All right, so then we got to put on this bracket here. And then if I'm missing anything with these brackets, when I shove the screws in there, it'll kind of center everything. We have to make sure that this bracket is not reversed by accident. We want it to be this way because this is where, if we don't do it this way, then it won't work well when we try to align this here, because it's going to fit like that, and we need to have the cutaway for our cables that are going for our power and for the HDMI, and also for our audio, because that's going to all go in there. And in fact, it's time to put that in. Also, we will make sure that we're pacing the right way so that the heatsink is fitting in there. I'm going to do this on an angle because we need to make sure the heatsink fits through there, and it does. And then everything is lined up properly this way. Looks like it is. Great. We'll just make sure that this is seated properly. It looks like it is. And then once again, it's seated properly there. It is. So yeah, that cutout in the bottom is for the heatsink. All right, this looks good here. Okay, we can move on to our next step, which is this part here. And again, this is adding in layers, adding in the divider there. We're making sure that everything is good. It's going to add this is going to add a lot of stability because we have this plastic going across, which is good. What's it going to do when it's done? That's a great question. So this Raspberry Pi originally was purchased with the idea that it was going to be for traveling. When I did conventions, it was going to be, I had a little TV plugged into it, a little monitor plugged into it, so that I could do promotion at the table. So I could run videos on it on a loop, and then also I could then switch over to like RetroPie and then play games on it. Mostly at the table, but also theoretically it could be another thing that I could do to play games at like a panel instead of having to run my laptop or bring a console. Well, if it's an old enough retro game, I could just run it off of this, which felt good. Originally, my table setup had a little DVD player that had a USB, so I was running videos off USB, and that was fine, but it took up too much room. This does not take up any room, which is very convenient, especially for traveling, flying, or taking the train, whichever, because when I would do stuff in Boston, I was still going to taking the train from New York. I don't plan on tabling or demoing or doing anything at any booths for a while, right now. So I don't quite know what this is going to do. It might become a pie hole. It might help my network here at the house. But most likely it's just going to be my RetroPie device on a TV. I think that's probably going to be what this is for. It's just going to play that. I don't know. I might put it on the network. I might just put it on my own network here and I don't know, have it as another storage device maybe. I'm not really sure. But it was sitting in my storage unit for these past 2 years, and that felt like I should do something with it. Okay, so the case is going to go on like this. Let me see, we got some air vents there and some air vents there. And I have to figure out where to put these pins. That is the one thing I haven't done yet is the pins. I was saving that. And let's see. I'm going to put the red pin here on. Actually, I'm going to take a couple layers off just because it'll make it easier to do this. So I'm going to take these layers off and we'll put them on again. Because we can always just lay this over here. So the red is going to go on one, and then the yep. Red is going to go on one, and then the black will go on 3 on this side, and then that's 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to make sure that I'm doing that correctly. Okay, great. So that should be right. Obviously, we don't want to pull these cables. We don't want to pull these wires out of anything. So we're going to keep those nice and close while we reassemble this to where it needs to be. I just realized that can't work. That can't work the way I just did it. I have to do these after this thing is fully assembled. Duh. What am I thinking? Because it wouldn't work otherwise. Hilarious. All right, that's going to go like that. That's going to go like that. That's going to go like this. Then we do what we just did there. We'll start with the black. And we've got to do the black 3 in. 1, 2, 3. Great. Other things we can talk about. I have a bonus stream. I'll talk about it in the middle when I'm promoting things. Promote myself, which I do halfway through the stream when I take my pause for the cause. I will be promoting my bonus stream tomorrow night. I've got a bonus stream coming up. All right, great. That worked out. Excellent. Now we'll put this all together, and then we will plug it in and see if it works. But yeah, I got a bonus stream this Sunday, which is tomorrow, from 7 p.m. Eastern until probably 9 p.m. Eastern. I think about 2 hours, probably. Maybe it'll go longer. Maybe it'll be less. I'm going to watch some wrestling. This is a celebration stream. I recently did a fundraiser to take care of some outstanding debts, which was very nice and good. The people were very supportive, and I appreciate them very much for that. And as a celebration of that event taking place and working out so well and people being so kind and generous, I am going to stream myself watching a bunch of wrestling and talking over said wrestling. It'll be very old wrestling from Michinoku Pro, New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Japan Women's, and one independent wrestling event that Kana, now known as Asuka, but then known as Kana, did. One of her many events that she would just do. And going to show a bunch of those matches tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on this very channel. So come hang out. If you like wrestling, or you're like me being excited about old wrestling, old hard-hitting wrestling, going to watch a bunch of matches and talk about them. So that's tomorrow. Let's see. Hey, look, I begrudgingly respect Logan Paul when it comes to his wrestling acumen. The man has put the work in to train. He has some natural talent in the ring. He's had 2 matches. Both of them have been good, certainly carried by his opponent, doing a lot of work to make him look very good. There's no doubt. His 3rd wrestling match is going to be in Saudi Arabia, which that doesn't surprise anyone, I'm sure. But it's going to be against Roman Reigns, the Universal Heavyweight undisputed champion of the WWE. And that does feel like Mad Libs. You're not wrong if you were thinking that sounds like Mad Libs, that Roman Reigns and Logan Paul are going to wrestle for titles in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel. Arctic Salt says if Roman doesn't bury him, then I don't know what's happening. So the thing that I think is very funny is they found a way, the only possible way for Logan Paul to be universally cheered. Because the thing is, his fans like him. Wrestling fans can appreciate that he's been good in the ring, but they're not going to cheer him over Roman Reigns, who is a heel, don't get me wrong, but is still already beloved by some community, by some audience, and Saudi Arabia does have we're acting like a real wrestling audience, we're gonna do what we're supposed to do. We're gonna cheer the good guys and boo the bad guys. So it's possible that they'll boo Roman and cheer for Logan Paul. But if every time Logan Paul wrestles and shows up on wrestling, there are so many boos because the regular audience is just no, we don't like this. We're never going to like this. And they don't turn him heel because to his audience, he's the good guy. So he doesn't. It seems like he doesn't really want to be the heel. Like he tried to turn babyface against when he was working with the Miz as Miz's partner, and people were like, actually no. And again, does he have wrestling acumen? Yeah, I can't deny that. I wish I could deny it, but I can't. All right, so this is done. This case is done. We are now going to test to see if it fires up, and we'll see if the fan kicks on. So I'm going to plug in this power supply here, make sure that this is working. Can I get into the power supply with this case? Ooh, can I get into the... Okay, I can. All right, and it did power on, and the fan is going. It is sucking air. You can see there's some lights there that this is on. It's working. A fan is blowing cool air down. I can't feel the air coming out, but it is blowing down. And then if I press this button, it turns off, and the fan turns off. Great. Working as intended. So yes, this is a new power supply for this, which works out fine. Everything, the Raspberry Pi already plugged in. Is that like an adapter? Yes. So I assume that the people that put this together are buying stuff at not cost, but they're buying stuff in small batches. So this is a adapter for the power supply to work with Raspberry Pis, which is not the best thing in the world, but apparently is still rated well. I've seen this particular power supply on many cases. The power supply I had originally, which is still my backup, doesn't have the button, so you have to manually unplug stuff in. So this has like an adapter here for whatever this power supply is meant for, so that it'll work on this. But it does work well. So we'll take that out of the case there. Do I have my... I don't have my HDMI cable handy to test this if it fits here on this, but it should. I can see it clearly. So it all looks good. And then the audio, which I've never used. And then this looks good here for our Ethernet port and our USBs. That all looks good. Actually, I can test. I can at least test to see if this is my... for presentations here, my little clicker here. Also, it does have if I turn it on, it does have a laser pointer, which is nice for presentations. I just happen to have that handy, which is nice. So I can see, yes, this does allow me to plug in USB in here. So I could, if I was running something on here, I could control it with that. So that's good. All the parts fit in. Don't have to test the Ethernet. That looks fine. Yeah. I don't love where I put these wires. That could probably be better, but I'm not too worried about that. It still cleans the area here for air. There's plenty of ventilation. And also access to the micro SD card here in the back. Enough to get at it and then put it back in, which is good. Yeah, little feetsies. Feels good. Mission accomplished. So that's nice. Like to see that. Again, just a small little thing that I was like, I want to do this on stream. I thought it would be fun. Right. So here's my Raspberry Pi, which again, immediately does not have a practical application in this house, but will eventually. I'm going to see here. Too far. Widen out some. But it will eventually have some sort of purpose. I'm looking forward to legitimately finding out what that is at some point. Let me unplug this cable here. We don't need that. And then, does it fit back in the box that it came in? Great. So I know where I'm storing this little box here. Let's see if I can get the power cable in this box as well, because that would be nice. Yeah, mostly. Sure. I'll let you know, folks, if what I decide to do with this thing. Again, this is probably just me playing old wrestling games on a TV. Is probably what I'm going to do with this thing. haven't really decided yet. I got a bunch of stuff on there. It has been 2 years. I should probably plug it in, or plug the SD card into the SD card reader and update. Like, I should probably update the firmware on there. That's my guess. I have to remember how to do that, so we'll see. Anyway, we're gonna move on. It's time to work on. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that, and then we're gonna move on to the Mercurius kit. It's time to work on that. This instruction booklet is like, this is so similar. They're just like, yeah, once you do the head, like, here's the parts that you're doing together, and it's just like, is it C4 or C2? So we will be working on the red Mercurius first, and then we'll do the blue Vayeate after. Oh, I should also put in markers. Our pink, we're going to use a gray marker for that, and our red, we're going to use the brown marker. Get some good use of our brown. Haven't really looked at this too much, but I do like the gray marker on this pink here. I think it's going to look good. We can look at the back here and kind of look at that like that. Be like, yeah, that looks good. And then this red, we're going to hit with the brown marker. Kind of hit over here. Just kind of look at it. And I think that's going to look good. Okay. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. You missed the assembly. We just finished up the Raspberry Pi assembly. It went good. Watching the archives, but it worked. The fan got installed. The case is nice looking. Does its job, and I didn't fuck it up. I almost did. I didn't really, but I almost did. I also discovered I scratched my glasses today, so I'm going to buff that out after the stream and hope that that's a really small little. Still time to fuck it up. You're right. I could fuck it up at any point. Totally right, unfortunately. So this kit is a 2-pack here that we got here. The Vayeate and the Mercurius. It does have a lot of color-correcting stickers, which we don't love, but like, I understand. This was a 2-pack. This is a premium kit. It shares some parts with the Leo because that makes sense storyline wise, but this was a new mold in many ways, and at least so maybe in the computer design it shares some parts, but this looks like completely new. Was released in 2021. I got it, and it's this year. Yeah, we're gonna get into the kit here, and we'll start with A. We are doing all the parts that say Mercurius. None of the parts that say Vayeate. We'll do the Vayeate later. All right, we talked about that. We talked about that. Let's talk about bring up. I have a rundown from Jinx TV, which I don't know anything about, but they did a quote-unquote everything announced at TGS. So we'll go through that, and I'm just going to, like, mention things that stand out to me. Maybe you'll be like, oh, Pat, actually, I have thoughts to say about that. I will certainly... we can do normal mode or camera exposed state. Normal mode or camera exposed state. Let's do normal mode because it's like more pieces and I think looks better. So we're going to do normal mode. Yeah, I guess we'll do normal mode. Again, I don't fucking remember exactly what that means, but whatever. We are doing, we're starting with the Mercurius. So we get that. Let's see. So we had Metal Hellsinger came out. And that was at the Xbox thing. Bunch of stuff coming to Game Pass. So that's like, hey, check this shit out. Like Danganronpa 3 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Outer Wilds are coming to console only. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch Remaster, also console only. Yes, Danganronpa. And whatever else fun ways you want to say, dang revolution. Slime Rancher 2 Early Access, an early access game coming to Game Pass. That's kind of cool. I think that's neat. Dan Jan Ropa, future GB series. That's what you meant by that. Yeah, no, they shouldn't. Maybe it is a future Giant Bomb series, but I don't think they should. I don't think that would be fun for anyone. Maybe the audience, but I don't know. I have a fairly negative opinion of Danganronpa myself. Let's see. A bunch of things came out from there. Mostly they were just talking about Game Pass. That seemed to be the big thing for Xbox, which makes sense because they're trying to sell consoles, and that's a fucking great deal for consoles. Like, it's just an unbelievably sweet deal. So it makes total sense to me that they'll be like, hey, check this shit out. All right, so we need A7. Gotta get that. Then we'll need A24. There. Make it a one-off like the Kingdom Hearts series. Yes. Hey, yeah, Capcom was just like, y'all like Street Fighter? Because we got a bunch of Street Fighter shit to talk to you about. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak title update 2 is coming the end of this month. So there's a lot of stuff for that. Resident Evil. There's a bunch of things. Resident Evil Village Gold Edition. Gonna have a bunch of stuff there. And some DLC. Exoprimal. The third-person shooter where you are fighting dinosaurs while you are being observed by a artificial intelligence that has gone rogue and is testing humanity vis-a-vis this particular series of fighting against dinosaurs. Yeah, and they put out a new trailer for it. It's coming out next year. That's a thing that people will play, I'm sure. Fighting ways of dinosaurs. Figuring out how to fight with this AI. It's like, yeah, all right. Sure. All right, so we need a... this kit has very few polycaps, which I love. Love it when they do that. I'd like a sim about being a normal person in a world where dinosaurs rain out of the sky. Yeah, you're just like dealing with that. You're just like, oh, God damn it. Is it Wednesday already? All right, so we need to apply a sticker here. Our eye sticker, which is number 5. And then we'll also need number 4 later. So we'll do 5 for green stickers. We're doing the normal mode because I think that's how I want this to look. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection is coming next year to Switch, PlayStation 4, PC, and Steam. Which is good to put out where that's coming. I'm not a big Battle Network fan myself. I just don't have a lot of experience with it. But I know people who absolutely love the Battle Network games, and so good for them. Battle Network is going to be re-release of the year. Yeah, I could see that. I know there's a lot of people who are just like, this is my jam, this is my shit, this is what I want. And yeah, they're going to do online stuff for it, which is cool. That is very cool. You're right. When you're right, you're right. And then Street Fighter 6, they're like, hey, check this out. Check out the modes. Check out the people. Check you out in 2023. There's a closed beta coming, right? Yeah. That's coming, so get on that if you like, if you want to get in there early and get fucked up already and by people who are way better at you than Street Fighter. You can get in on that shit nice and early. All right, so oops. Put this sticker in here. Great. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Just zoom in a touch. See what I'm working on here. We don't have to be that zoomed out because we're not doing a giant Lego set. folks, I love doing Lego. I did a lot of Lego between those kits, or between all the 3 kits that I built that were all gifts. And look, it was fantastic. My buddy Adam sent me so much goddamn Lego. I was so thrilled to have all of it, but it did feel a tad overwhelming to just be like, well, this is my life for a while, is doing all of this. I'm gonna hit this here with, I don't even know what's gonna show up on this, but I'm gonna hit this now because it'll be easier to show it now. But yeah, it's nice to get back into model kit building after so much Lego was put together. Easier. Okay, then we had Konami that was like, hey, here's a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh shit. Yu-Gi-Oh! Cross Duel, Duel Links, Master Duel, and Rush Duel, Dawn of the Battle Royale. So I'm sorry, I didn't say all of that. That last game is actually called Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel, Dawn of the Battle Royale. Let's go Rush. That's the full title. Cross Duel and Duel Links are already on mobile. Rush Duel, Dawn of the Battle Royale, let's go Rush. Just arrived on the Switch, apparently. And Master Duel is on 4 and 5, Series, Xbox One, Switch, and mobile as well. Honestly, Konami was just like, we make Yu-Gi-Oh games. We make a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh games. I don't know what else to tell you. What else do you people want from us? We make the Yu-Gi-Oh. Here you go. Here's all of the Yu-Gi-Oh for you. Suikoden 1 and 2 Remastered is coming next year. Unfortunately, all of the childhood shows I try to go back to and watch, Yu-Gi-Oh was the most cringe. Oh, I mean, the Yu-Gi-Oh dub should be avoided at all cost. I have a soft spot for the Yu-Gi-Oh Season 0. I think kind of holds up in its weirdness and its darkness. But beyond that, the other Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, not it particularly. And again, the dub is not good. I mean, obviously, shout out to Sam Riegel of Critical Role, who did a number of voices in the anime. Was original voice of Tristan, and then had to stop doing it because he wasn't living in LA at the time. But then did a bunch of guest voices. We love and appreciate you, but that early dub is not good. And you can't make it better, my friend. Sega, they had a guy in a lab coat, and I don't know why he was in a lab coat, but he had a lab coat on. Give me a Yu-Gi-Oh that's like Uncharted. Lord Crash into they will not do that. You are not going to get that. It's not happening. All right, let's get this panel lined here. We'll do some quick and dirty panel lines here on this head. There's an extended trailer. Sonic Frontiers has like moments in the trailers where it's like, when it becomes Shadow of the Colossus, I'm like, that's kind of cool. But then you have to still be Sonic fighting a big monster, and I'm like, that doesn't look great. And then you go and warp into their cyber zones or whatever, and then it's just like recycled of old Sonic games, and it kind of looks rad. But you can't fool me. You can't fool me at all. Sure, Sonic Mania was good, and I had a good time playing Sonic Mania. But you can't tell me there's going to be 2 good Sonic games in this decade. There's just no fucking way they're going to put out 2 good Sonic the Hedgehog games anywhere near each other. Like, that's impossible. So you can't fool me. No thanks. Make sure you ask permission to go into somebody's cyber zone. Indeed, Sonic does ask permission, so it's okay. That's kind of it. I mean, they talked about Yakuza, the Ishin game. That was a lot of Sega's thing. Was talking about that. Again, if there was something for one of these that you're like, oh, Pat, we should talk about this, please feel free to put that in. 505 Game. Hey, why does 505 Games do a press conference? They're a very weird publisher in general, but it's just like, I don't know, Gunfire Reborn. It's an endless runner gunner game that's coming to Game Pass. It's just like, okay. But like, they put out games like Serial Killers and RE Legend and Rogue Spirit and Unholy and Unheard, Voices of Crime. A lot of, hey, guess what? 505 Games putting a lot of shit out on PlayStation 4. Stray Blade. Miasma Chronicles coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, and PC. Release date TBD. Miasma Chronicles. And then this article has not updated for anything more than that. Looks like. So I don't know any last minute stuff that came through. Experimental game things was fun. But yeah, if there's anything at TGS that you were like, oh, Pat, did you see this thing? Feel free to let me know. I mean, obviously the best thing going for Tokyo Game Show is wrestling happening in support of AEW Fight Forever, and some really good Japanese wrestlers coming through, some American wrestlers out there, some English wrestlers who are wrestling in Japan and are independent were there, and that's very cool and fun. And I think like that is probably the coolest part of Tokyo Game Show, in my estimation. The famed makers of the Michael Phelps Connect game. Indeed. A classic video game. You kidding me? All right, we're going to chest here. So we got that. And we need 13 and 13. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I dropped some stuff. Hold on. Here. Still haven't really gotten my shelving quite exactly what I like. All right, so we need C2 13 and then C4 13. Great. What is this? What's this thing? What the? Why is this not labeled? Oh, this is still C. Okay, great, cool. This is C4, and it just came apart. Awesome. I was like, why is this being weird? It's not being weird. I'm being weird. But yeah, because there are not a lot of polycaps, you're going to use our connectors are going to be plastic here, which is fun on the sprues. But yeah, I think that was it as far as stuff from that I wanted to talk about at Tokyo Game Show. I'm always excited about the wrestling. Let's see. Fallout from last night's AEW. Wardlow in a tag match coming up. We're going to be a tag match with Joe, taking on Josh Woods and Samoa Joe, I should say, taking on Josh Woods and what's his name, Tony Nese. That's going to be I mean, that's not as good as Wardlow defending his title against people. I would like Mr. Wardlow to have the title defenses in AEW against people who could theoretically defeat him. That would be good for Wardlow to have like opportunities to fight people and get better at wrestling. That's my personal opinion on that. I think we forgot to mention the biggest part of Dynamite. So on Thursday, we didn't talk about Wednesday's biggest thing, according to Lashbrook. The 2 seconds Luigi Primo was on screen. You may have... Here's the thing. Even if you're not in Wrestle Twitter, you're not paying attention to the Wrestle tweets, you possibly saw this be retweeted by people. There is an independent wrestler out there named Luigi Primo. And their deal is that um, are they're a pizza person. They make pizza. They're not made out of pizza. It's not a Kaiju Big Batal. They're a pizza like shop employee wrestler. And this match started with them just like with dough, trying to like spin the dough while also and keep the dough in their hand while also wrestling. And it got a little bit of an internet sensation. It made the rounds. Some people hated it, some people loved it, some people didn't think about it. But basically, they were like, "Oh, well, when I think of New York, I think of pizza backstage. So we're going to talk to the expert of pizza, Luigi Primo." And then Luigi Primo just got like kicked in the head immediately, and we didn't hear from Luigi Primo. And that was very silly and unnecessary in a way that I can fucking get behind. I was like, hell yeah. Luigi Primo just got paid. Now, do I think Luigi Primo probably took place in some of their tapings for Dark and Dark Elevation? I fucking hope so. I really hope that Tony Khan didn't fly out this wrestler for like 2 seconds of television time, because that feels like a waste of everybody's time, but it also very funny. But I don't know. Arctic Sloth, Luigi Primo probably doesn't deserve much better than a cool bit backstage. I think a cool, silly bit on national television for a gimmick wrestler is pretty fucking good. Hey, Dirty, welcome. Especially if he ended up at the tapings. One would hope that he's involved in the tapings, because I think that would be an excellent use of Luigi Primo if he shows up and gets some wrestling in. But I don't know. I've talked about this to people before. The thing that I always think about that other people don't think about is when you think about a wrestler with a gimmick, a wrestler that's got something going on. Luigi Primo, if he flies to go do wrestling, has to either check a bag that has pizza dough in it, or he has to go to a grocery store and buy ingredients to make dough, or go to a specialty shop and buy pizza dough before matches. Like when he's driving from his home, if he's making the loop, he can just have that ahead of time. Lashbrook, I think that is a specialty pizza dough that is more elastic. I think he is baking, and he is proofing his own pizza for specific show purposes. There are pizza dough recipes that to do that. There are ways to do that for shows, for people that do like tossing competitively. And so I am believing that. It might not be good pizza dough, but I bet it's legit. Yeah, exactly, Arctic Sloth. I believe that is show pizza. That is not, hey, let's throw this in the oven and see what's up. I believe that is performance pizza. He needs a pizza scientist partner to make the dough for him. There you go. But I just love the idea of him like having it be like, okay, who's got kitchen countertop for me to work a little bit? I got to make the pizza for this wrestling gig. Like I got to get my ingredients together for the gig. All right, what am I doing wrong here? What did I mess up here? Did I mess anything up at all? That's going to go in like that. I think I did this right. Oh, do I have to go the other way? I do. Okay. That might be what I was doing wrong. And then this is going to go in on that. This. Yep. Okay. And then that's going to slide in here. The nice thing is when I get to do the other one, it'll be a lot easier because I've already learned a lot about how to put together this particular model kit. Oops. Do you think there's a pizza shop that would sell him a thing of dough for his bit? Yeah, maybe if he was sponsored. Yeah, he could probably get pizza sponsors, especially locally. I bet he has some sort of he could be working on some sort of arrangement with somebody, in his local market. But I don't know. I don't know much about the pizza person. Oh, I'm doing this backwards. That's my problem. This is the back of the kit. Is this the back of the kit? Sorry, everybody. I gotta get back in the swing of things of working on model kits. Is this A19? That is A19. Okay, this is not the back. This is the front. All right. Okay, so what am I doing wrong? It's always fun to be like, why is this not working? And is it me or am I fucking up? What's going on here? I'm going to put this here. Oh, that is the front. Okay. Right. Sorry, everybody. A19. Says A19, right? Okay, A19. Put those in. Put that in. And this goes like this. That. And then this has got to go up here. Like that. Only if at some point the dough becomes the champ. But yeah, I mean, you know, depending on the wrestling league, the dough could certainly become a champ. You know, it just depends on what league you're in. Inanimate objects have certainly won titles in the past. In my comedy wrestling league, we did, of course, have a period where we had a champion that was, of course, because why wouldn't it have been? It was a Towel. Towel was our wackadoo champion at one point. Let's go into real wackadoos. All right, I'm having a lot of trouble figuring out how this connects like this, I want to say. But it doesn't look right. I'm going to pull out... okay. I was reading the instructions wrong. I'm getting here. I'm getting it now. I was like, why won't this fit in? Because I'm doing it to the wrong part. Again, when we have to do the Vayeate, this will be a lot easier because I will have learned all of my hard lessons from the Mercurius, which we're currently building now. Oops. Back in the swing of model kit building. We're going to take a pause for the cause once I get this part assembled because it's been giving me annoying trouble, so I want to do it so that we can move on to the next part. And of course, in the second hour, when we get back from our pause for the cause, I'll talk about, you know, ways you can support the channel, all that. We'll come back and we're going to talk about some anime because we're in the 11th episode of 12 for 2 series. We're getting towards the end because it's almost the anime seasons are almost over. Now, will I record the next Pat Bear's Anime Club before these shows are done? Yes. Do I have a pretty good belief of what I'm going to say about those shows, even if I'll finish before the season's over? Yeah. I'm recording a little earlier than I normally would, mainly because this season has not been that good, and I kind of want to just get into talking about the next season, which I'm really psyched for, because this summer season has been less than stellar. There have been a couple good shows, but for the most part, it has been not the best. So kind of want to just like get into being psyched about the fall anime season. All right. Now we can put this together. There it is. Hell yeah. Got it together. That was way more complicated than it needs to be. And then we'll do some panel lining and put like the stuff on here that we need to put on here and all that. We'll get into that in a minute, and then we'll get into working on the arms. But first, we have to take a pause for the cause. This is a chance for me to talk to you about ways you can support the channel. If you like what you see here, you might say, hey, Pat, I want to support you and what you're doing. There are many ways to do that. If you don't want to do any of that, just hang tight. First and foremost, we're going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 emote. If you're a Tier 2, you get the blue emote. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here. You can see people are throwing the emotes in the chat saying like, hey, I'm a subscriber, which is very kind of them, and we appreciate that very much. Again, being a subscriber, easy way to support what I do. $5 a month or using your Prime Gaming token. Hey, Ghost Valve, you have your Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch. You can use that token for somebody. Why not use it with me? It's September. You can save money by subscribing. If you want to subscribe, you can save some money, and that's cool. That does not apply to gifting subs, but if you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community, you could also do that, and we appreciate that if that's something you'd like to do. Bits and coins also always appreciate it. Do we have any bits this month? Yes. Bane gave 95, which is very kind. Bits and coins always appreciated. And yeah, thank you very much for even considering being a subscriber. Now, there are other ways to support what I do here. That's probably the easiest because you're already here on the Twitch website, so it's pretty simple to do that. But there's also my Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, and $5, and a $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. $10 you get to vote on what I build. I put polls up all the time. $5 you get my videos early. $3 you get to vote once a month on something I build, and $1 you just get promotions. I just let you know what's going on. You keep track. It's mostly just like a tip jar, like a monthly tip jar, basically. Because I'm grandfathered into the $1 because they don't let people do that anymore. I also am on YouTube, youtube.com/PatBear. Consider that. Subscribing is free, so why not subscribe right now? If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, just please do it. It would help me. But also, if you want to do that and you want to chip in a few bucks in YouTube's way, you could do that and become a member. $2 a month to get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. My current Wednesday video is pretty good. My video next Wednesday is something that I've been joking about doing since I started this series back in January. So you probably want to see that on Tuesday when it's a day early. And then also there's direct donations. If you want to go to Coffee or PayPal or Stream Elements, you can go and give that way. That's another way to support what I do here is some direct. I'm going to put that in chat. Everything is here in chat. It'll be in the show description of this YouTube archive. Take a look at there. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watch my videos, through Patreon, and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. I take money out of the fund and I buy model kits. This kit that I'm working on right now, the double pack of the Mercurius and the Vayeate, I could not have bought this without your generous continued support because money goes into a fund. I buy kits with that. So I got that with this, which rules. Now, my $10 patrons voted on this. It was in my backlog for a little while. I'm happy to work on it, but here's the thing. If you want me to not work on what's on my backlog and instead work on what you want me to build, then you got to buy it off my Amazon wish list. That's one way to jump the queue. It'll be the next thing I build. I'll shoot a YouTube video about it, dedicated YouTube video, and then, it'll be the next thing that I get there. I've got different things in there, different inexpensive Lego sets, more expensive kits, model kits that are cheap that have Amazon free shipping or Amazon Prime free shipping, which is different. There's Amazon Prime and free delivery. Those are different things. Inexpensive kits, very expensive kits that why is that $70? Why is the Gundam Seed Mobile Gin $70? It is, I don't know, but it's there. And then some expensive kits at the bottom. And then some gear, because it's always nice to have gear. If you want me to have more buttons and have a bigger Elgato than on the Stream Deck, Elgato Stream Deck that I have that only has 6 buttons. You want to have a lot more buttons, you could do that. Obviously, all the stuff here that I'm talking about is optional, but, it's nice to have these things. My Amazon wish list, we just talked about. I have a Throne wish list, which is my alternative to Amazon, because it's nice to have alternatives. You go over to the Throne wish list, see if there's something there you'd like to purchase for me to build. Or a gift card. If you just want to give me a gift card, you can do it through them. And then also, of course, USA Gundam Store. You could buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store, speaking of gift cards. Then you get an email with that gift card code. Send me a DM on Twitter. It's the most complicated way to support me because you have to buy a thing from USA Gundam Store and then get a code in your email and then send me a DM on Twitter with that code, and then I'll use that money to buy something from USA Gundam Store. It's a lot of steps, but I like having alternatives, and 3 people have done that. 3 different people have done that in the past. So that's fun. Maybe 4, I think 3 or 4. Anyway, that's besides the point. A way to support me for free is to join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. I packed away this case, and I'm going to have to take a photo of it. So I don't know why I packed it away. I'm going to put that out because I got to take a photo. We'll do that. Do that once the stream comes back. Or we'll go back on the overhead. Because I just realized I never took a photo of this done, and I should do that. Silly Pat. Anyway, I got a couple video links for you to check out before we get back into the model kit building. The first video link that I should send to you is Pat Baer's Anime Club. And this particular video is me talking about the history of the anime music video. Because the anime music video is 40 years old this year, if you can believe it. It's a little younger than me. And so I talked about the history of that and the first person to make one and kind of like why if they're still popular today, where they're still popular, that kind of thing. And also give like information about a particular video that I'm like, I bet this exists. And it turns out it does. You can find that in the show description of that video. The anime music video that I wondered if it existed, and turns out it does. And then Do You Remembaer is an ongoing video series where every Wednesday I take a look at something on the internet on a Wikipedia page, try to remember everything I can from said article, and then present those facts. And this particular video is me talking about John Masita Jr., who you might know as the fast-talking man, one time the world's fastest-talking man. The Micro Machines guy, the fast-talking teacher on Saved by the Bell, the FedEx fast-talking businessman, a bunch of different commercials and appearances and various things. Yelling man in a lot of movies. But yeah, check out that link if you want to learn more about the fast-talking man. And thank you to Harold, who's not watching right now, but thank you for suggesting that. I appreciate it. I wonder, hold on one second. Let me just check something real quick here. Just going to check this out real quick, see what it says. Okay. I just want to check on something real quick there. Okay, so we're going to talk about some anime. That's the next step on the stream, is to talk about anime. Before we get into that, though, sorry, real quick, I do want to promote with this photo here. Boom. Pat watches Old Wrestling, a celebration stream tomorrow, September 18th, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. At twitch.tv/PatBaer, right where you're watching. I'll be watching matches from All Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Michinoko Pro, Ecto, throwing in some modes, hell yeah, and All Japan Women's. So I'll be watching stuff from all that and talking over it. I will also be watching an independent match from Kana, who is now known as Asuka in the WWE. I have that match there, but I didn't know what to put, so I just put those other out. I have newly to me access to a lot of old wrestling from a lot of eras, but to me it's more fun to show the Japanese stuff. But I have stuff from a bunch of different promotions, and I will start. So now I can dive into other stuff, and not just All Japan, which I had a lot of access to. Now I have other stuff, and I'm excited about that. All right, we're gonna talk about some anime. I'm gonna drink some water first. So right now I will dramatically transition to the overhead. Where I will engage in some water drinking right now. All right, let me take a photo of this. I gotta put my passcode in here. Sorry, hold on. I want to take a photo of this here, the completed case, because I said that I do take photos at the end of every build, and this build is done. So let me just take a kid. If you missed it, that was the first half hour of the stream, was putting this together. Okay, now let's get back to this. The the Mercurius. We're doing the Mercurius right now. And let's talk about episodes 11 of Teppen, Laughing Till You Cry, and Black Summoner. I'm just going to jump right into the fact that Teppen made an isekai joke that was great. At one point, they all put on VR headsets, and they were in virtual reality. And in this virtual reality, they were in a fantasy world, and they were all wearing school gym outfits, jumpsuits, and the line is, everyone wears tracksuits in isekai. It's a rule. Which is not the case. That's only really it's just a reference to ReZero more than anything. But I thought that was a very funny reference to ReZero, that they were just like, yeah. I mean, it's an isekai. You wear a tracksuit. I just thought it was very funny. I like that bit. The main episode of this was Young YY was on stage talking about how time passes really quickly. And then the whole episode was actually about time. They had 3 days left because we're getting towards the last episode. The whole premise of the show is all these girls are in comedy groups, and they are in the quarterfinals of this big tournament. And they're trying to get to the finals, and getting out of the quarterfinals means that this last step is whoever leaves the house is disqualified in the next 3 days. So that's the important thing. And so they're trying to do different things to entice them to come out, and then also theoretically teaching them lessons. The Isekai harem anime this season also started off in a tracksuit. Yay, that's true. I feel like most of the Isekai that start with the MC as a shut-in have tracksuits. Yeah, I mean, it's not just ReZero. ReZero is probably the most popular example of that. But yeah, you're right. It's not just ReZero. Dirty. You're quite right. Anyway, so they're trying to learn comedy lessons along the way. And the first thing is they have to stay in the house, and it's super heated up like a sauna. And they managed to lower the temp because it's being heated up because of all the hot pot that's being consumed. So they have to get the guys holding the hot pot to leave, and then they need to consume the hot pot. And then there are samba dancers that show up and keep them from falling asleep. And then they have to get the dancers out of there with some physical comedy. And then they are being attacked by blow darts, so they have to jump in some water. And at a certain point, they realize, oh, these are all things that could happen on a variety show. This is a thing that, like, these are skills. Like, even though we're comedians, sometimes we're going to have to do weird things, like go on variety shows, and we'll have to, like, deal with these nonsense things that are happening here, which is true for these Japanese comedians. And then there's some psychological warfare. They're like people pretending to be their parents, wanting them to come outside. And at one point, the girl that loves a historical show about her home area and the girl that loves alien stuff, they tempt both of them by saying, hey, there's going to be a crossover between Space Wars. You can guess what that's supposed to be referring to. And this like historical drama, and it's very fun because they're like together, very excited about going out there. Anyway, they end up getting the VR headsets. In this VR thing that is like a weird amalgamation of a bunch of different things, a dragon shows up, and I'll say this show is not like the best animated show I've ever seen. It's fine. This dragon looks fucking rad. I don't know if they like licensed it out or to another, company, not licensed it, but they got another company to do it. But it doesn't match the rest of the show, and it fucking kicks ass. This dragon looks rad. Anyway, this dragon lord is like, I'm going to destroy all of you, and they have to fight them with the power of friendship. And young YY gets too into it to defeat the dragon, and they do. But when they take the VR headsets off, they realize, we're outside, because they were in VR headsets, and they ended up coming outside. And they are disqualified from the competition. They're the only group that got disqualified. And then next week's going to be the last episode, and I guess we'll learn something. It's interesting that the only group that has been disqualified is the main group from the show, because this show it's an anime that has a manga spin-off based on, maybe the manga started right before, but it's based on like some audio recordings of these three voice actresses doing the characters in Young YY. Like they set up this whole thing. Like it's three voice actresses from the same company doing these characters of like young ladies who want to be Manza people and do stand up. And then they wrote a whole show about them, and it's like, weirdly enough, all 15 girls are different girls from this one agency, because that's how shit works. But it is interesting that the girls that are ostensibly the leads in this show got cut, where no other group got cut yet. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. More to come on this particular one, I believe. All right, we need A6 and A8, and then we're going to get into more of this here. A6 and A8. Other than me being weirded out by the chest, this kit does seem to be easy to put together, which is nice. Seems to be putting together good flow here. We've been stopping to do panel lining and all that, but otherwise it's been pretty straightforward. I will now briefly talk about Black Summoner. We got some fights going on here. We got a little bit of a lore dump. We got an explanation, a bit of a particular character and what her deal is, finding some history out about one of our characters, which was nice. Basically, we found out that to be, they're going to have a test for our guy here, because Kelvin, our main dude, he is taking the S-rank promotion exam. He's trying to be an S-rank adventurer. And to be an S-rank adventurer, you need approval from 2 heads of state. There's already one leader of a kingdom that already thinks he's great. She tried to recruit him for her personal, army. And he was like, nah, but she likes him. And then the Beast King of another kingdom is like, yeah, I got just the thing for this dude, this promotional exam. I got it. I got this village of elves that's being attacked, and these monsters are kidnapping elves, which seems weird that monsters would kidnap elves. So something's going on. Now we, the audience, know, oh, that's that evil kingdom that's been given a lot of problems out there. That's clearly this evil kingdom, and they're trying to feel stuff out for war because they got these monsters and their units and all that. So they get there at this village, and the elf chief is just like, wait, you're supposed to be dead. And he's talking to Ethel, the half elf that was cursed and that is now a servant of our main dude. It's pretty much said, we don't know for proof, but Lumel was a elf that went to go be the bride of an angry fire dragon, and we know that our girl was cursed by a fire dragon, so people were like, that was probably your mom. And it's like, okay, yeah, all right. But she's just like, I have a family, but it's good to know this stuff. And it's a sweet little moment. Anyway, there's a new monster that's been kidnapping elves, and Kelvin's just like, yeah, that's definitely these fuckers. I got a plan. He fortifies the area, and then basically sends out, this army shows up, and they're expecting, the kingdom that they've been fucking with to, send a response. And they're like, great. They're going to send soldiers. We got these high-powered monsters. It's going to be easy. It's going to be real fun for us. We're going to wipe the floor with them. Instead, they get murdered. They just get murdered by an archer from far away, and they have no idea what's happening. They are just incredibly surprised that they are just getting lit the fuck up from arrows far away. And then our goddess in the shape of an angel, the body of an angel, and our young summoned hero and her wolf friend just start chewing through monsters. So then the commander of this army is just like, oh yeah, well, good luck facing this giant that we have. We summoned a giant, and that giant is CGI and looks bad, but it's a giant. And then that giant gets its ass kicked by a young lady and her wolf friend. They just rip that thing to shreds because she's a summoned hero, and a giant is not going to fucking stop her. But then that giant becomes a fire giant, and it's still CG, but kind of looks better than the previous CG, but not much better. But also our girl, with the help of Clotho, the slime who has been holding her swords, Because we find out she's just like, they're like, you can dual wield? And she's like, no, I don't dual wield. I tri wield. Because she holds a sword in each hand, and her wolf also holds a shield in his mouth. And so she has 3 swords because her wolf friend. And I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But it's good anime bullshit. It is so good anime bullshit that this girl is just like, no, I use 3 swords. She's not Zoro, who uses 3 sword style. She's kind of Zoro, though. It was pretty great. So they wiped the floor with all of them, and everyone's fucking freaked out about that shit. But then Kelvin gets attacked by someone that he describes as very strong. And I believe that is a prince from that shitty country that's declaring war on everyone. I can't remember if that's just a general or if it is the prince, because I forget. But apparently that dude is strong, and Kelvin is going to have to fight him. And that's going to be the 12th episode, is Kelvin whooping this dude's ass, I assume. I can't remember because I've updated it. Look, I'm way past this in the manga. He has fought a lot of other people that are very strong, and there's been introductions of a bunch of other characters that have shown up. And where we are in the manga of Black Summoner, somebody in their party is actually there to kill him and is reveling in the fact that they don't seem to know that. But I gotta imagine that Melfina knows, because she's a goddamn goddess. And I'm like, how are they going to explain the fact that she didn't know? But whatever. That indeed is Black Summoner. And now's the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. That's right, you. What are you watching? What are you playing? What are you consuming? You go to the movies lately? You seeing stuff on your Amazon? You watching that football? You excited for tomorrow? You got some snacks ready for the big games? Going to a bar to watch them with some people? You know, you were like, what's up? What's happening with all of you? What are you into? What are you watching? What do you got going on? Let me know. I like to hear from y'all. For me, I'm playing that Hearthstone. Having fun in Hearthstone. Got a new deck that's bad. It's a mana druid deck where I'm just trying to ramp. It's a ramp druid deck, and then play a bunch of high cost cards for cheaper. And do a bunch of nonsense. It's not good, but when it wins, it feels very satisfying. But it doesn't always win. It's a under 50% win rate, but it's a pretty fun deck. So I'm playing that, and that's been nice. Lord Crashton says, finished Monkey Island 2, so you're ready for Return to Monkey Island. That's right, because it takes place after the events of Monkey Island 2. So awesome. I'm glad you're ready to return to Monkey Island. That's neat. And we need B and that. All right, so we need B8. 4 B8s on here. So we'll get that ready. We'll put all these C's back in here for now. We'll come to that later. So we need B. Yep, okay. We need B's, and we need A1. Great, got it. 4 A1s. I made plans to go to a local ramen place with some friends, looking at maybe playing all the Yakuza games again. Hell yeah, Arctic Sloth. I mean, look, Like a Dragon, the Like a Dragon series is fantastic. And you're not wrong. I have beaten Yakuza 0 twice, and I have played a lot of Yakuza 0, like way more than that. That is a game that sometimes I just like go into a save and be like, I don't remember what I was doing here. Let's just goof off and have some fun. But I have completed that game twice, and I have beaten Kiwami, the first Yakuza remake. I have beaten 4, and I have beaten Like a Dragon. So I have a pretty good track record with Yakuza games. And I've played all of them, but those are the ones that I have beaten, completed. But yeah. I want to hear from folks. Let me know in the chat what you're up to, what you're into, what's got you going, what's got you hyped, and what's got you not hyped. Because I like hearing from people about what they've got going on. So we need 9 over there and 8 over there. We'll do one of these and then we'll do the other one. All right, let's get that going here. We're working on the arms, and we can do a lot of these arms at the same time, which is very helpful to just be able to like get this going. Let's see. Lord Crashin started the Netflix Bee and Puppy Cat, which is pretty fun after a few episodes. Hell yeah. I enjoyed the original Bee and Puppy Cat, and I'm glad that they are making like new Bee and Puppy Cat. That is a lovely surprise that exists. I think that's fucking cool as hell. Lastbrook says, guess I've been on a cyberpunk kick. Watched Get Sacked 2045, which was fun once you adjust for the animation style. Watched the Cyberpunk 2077 anime, and now I'm playing the game. Yeah, I mean, you are definitely cyberpunking. I don't have Netflix right now. I was gonna get Netflix again and get the cyberpunk thing in and watch Isekai Uncle or Uncle from Another World, and also watch the Komi Can't Communicate Part 2, which I never watched. But then the Isekai Uncle got delayed. So when that comes back and they start making new episodes of that, then I'll get Netflix. So next season I'll actually watch that. But right now it's like, yeah, I mean, I could just get it for a month and watch those things, but I'd rather wait until there's like more stuff that I want to watch, because I'm not worried about that. Bee and Puppy Cat had some nice wrestling bits. Hell yeah, I do like hearing that. Finished Power Wash Sim, doing some IRL volunteering, and getting back into Final Fantasy 14. Hell yeah, Ghost Val. That's awesome. I also did some yard work today where I think where I may have completely, totally scratched my glasses, which I'm finding out now. But maybe it'll buff out and won't actually be an issue. I'll find out after the stream when I clean them. But I also got some yard work done, which I used the leaf blower, blew all the leaves into the driveway and then swept them up, because it's easier to sweep than rake, in my opinion. Dirty says, I hid in my apartment today. And because it's a home game weekend for 2 local high schools and college across the interstate from me, that's a good reason to stay home. I'm mostly playing some dailies and World of Warships. Nice, getting your warshipping in. Warships. Checked out the new season functionality in Idle Champions. Okay. 6 and 5. I'm going to put these arms together here. And playing through Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Not hyped that I finally paid off my student loans, only to have a tooth break and gain a new debt due to dentistry. I'm very sorry to hear that, Dirty. That is always the way when it rains and pours. Like, I just paid off a bunch of debt myself due to some lucky fundraising efforts from some lovely people, that I am able to do that and paid off some debts. And now I might have to get new glasses. Now, the hope is, well, one, if these frames, if the lens is indeed scratched, I can get new lenses with the same frames. I will have to send those glasses in to get worked on, which I don't want to do, but I can do that. Or I can get the frames and the lenses and just have these as a backup pair and get rid of my other backup pair, which would be probably for the best. So, like, I'm trying to do the silver lining on that. My hope is that this is just going to buff out, that I can just clean it, and then it will be fucking fine. But I don't know if that's the case. The tooth hurts. Yes, indeed. The tooth does hurt, and the truth hurts. Here's the thing. Getting the tooth taken care of just hurts your wallet. Oh, also, I should say this, because this is important. One, get your flu shots. Get out there, get that flu shot. Take care of business, especially because people are out and about more than they have been in the past couple of years, and you might be exposed to it, and your immune system might not be as strong as it was because you weren't out and about as much. So get that flu shot. I'm getting the updated booster on Friday because the CDC changed some of their guidelines. For a while there, folks that were under 50 for the updated booster, it was suggested that if you were not immune compromised, that you didn't get it because they wanted to make sure they had plenty for the people that were. But now they're saying, hey, if you're over, I think it's over 18, because I think 12 to 18 maybe is waiting. I don't remember. But they're like, yeah, you can get it. So I'm getting that. I'm going to get my updated booster on Friday. People are disgusting, so protect all your business. Yes, indeed. But yeah, I'm getting my updated booster. Excited to have that. I wanted to get it before I went to New York, but like I said, so a hospital might do it, but all of the pharmacies in this area, in my area here, weren't doing it. And now they are, this is the wrong piece, so I'm going to put that over here. Now they are like, yeah, we'll do it. So I'm going to Walgreens where I've gotten all my other ones, and they will take care of me, and I will get the booster, which will be good because that will cover me in case I go to Philadelphia. Now, am I going to Philadelphia? I don't know if I'm going to Philly. I haven't made up my mind. If I go to Philadelphia, it will be for PAX Unplugged. I will go to do panels. I did it last year. I liked doing it last year. It's a inexpensive flight. But what I'm trying to finagle right now is to get a sponsorship for either a hotel room or a room in like a Airbnb, like a group Airbnb with other people, or someone taking care of my flight. I am looking for one of those two things to be taken care of, and then I can take care of the other side of it myself. That is currently what I am looking to do, because I don't think I can swing both those things, but I can swing one of the two. And so that is the big plan right now. And I'm, again, I don't know if it's definitely going to happen. I don't know if it's maybe going to happen. I can't tell you for sure, but I'm certainly thinking about it. I have the rest of this month to submit. Also, let's be real. I can submit panels late if I need to. They will, if they want me, they'll accept me. Once you sort out that, I'd like to know what day your panel is. I'd like to only go for one day, says Arctic Sloth. Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand. Especially like the smaller Unplugged, you probably only really want to go one day. Yeah, I'll let you know, Arctic Sloth, when I know. But I will tell you, there will probably be one on a Saturday night if I end up doing it, because they will put me against the main stage, which is frustrating for this guy. But yeah. I did watch all of Giant Bomb's The Beatles Rock Band extra live stream on the game's 10th anniversary, which is great in spite of the very violent songs about attacking women. Yeah, some Beatles songs are not cool. I think that's the politest way I can say that. Yeah, some of that shit is not cool. Just like completely inappropriate, weird songs that you're just like, fuck, dude, what the fuck? What's going on here? And then also some goddamn beautiful songs from the Beatles. What was I say? Oh yeah. So yeah, I don't know about. Like I said, I don't know about PAX Unplugged. I'd like to go, because I think more of my friends are going to go to this one than last year, and I will be able to see said friends, and I can book them on panels. I also have an idea for a panel that is outside my usual realm of panels. I occasionally have been on some mostly I do entertainment panels, right? Like that's my focus, is doing like silly panels for people to like have a good time on. And I rarely do panels that are like, this is for people to like maybe learn something, like educational like panels. Like I've been on like fuck your fear type panels before, like, or building an audience kind of panels, or like I've been on panels about submitting panels to conventions, which is fun. Because it's very fun for me to be like, well, don't listen to my advice in this part, because my first panel that I ever did at a convention was the very first the second ever PAX East. That's right. My first panel was at a PAX because I had years of experience in another field. Like, that's my advice. Is like, know cool people because you've done stuff for a really long time. Like, that's not good advice. But I had other practical advice for that panel. So this panel that I'm thinking of doing at Unplugged would be a like practical panel, and I like doing those. I've never submitted one of those my own, but there will be somebody at the convention, planned to be at that convention, that would be the perfect support for said panel, and would make a lot of sense for me to do it if he is there. So we are considering doing that. I imagine kids in the 60s singing along with Beatles about killing a girl for breaking up with Paul or whoever, like it's a normal pop song. I mean, fuck, dude. A lot of pop songs are not cool. A lot of pop songs out today are weird, and people are just like, yeah, sure, all right. It's like, yeah, it's just like, you know. That is a timeless element where you're like, hey, is this song about jerking off? Okay. Is this song about like being obsessed with someone and being not cool? Oh, all right. Is this song about being like a kidnapper? Great. And being obsessed with someone? Cool. I could have talked about that. That song could be from any era. You know. It's all harmless until it isn't. All right, we're panel lining this. We're going to finish up here a little bit. I'm just panel lining this arm. We got a lot of shit done on this kit so far. We're getting a whole lot of work done here, which is interesting. I think we're going to finish the Mercurius on Monday, and then we'll get into the Vayeate and get that in. But yeah, this is not going to be a long build series. This will not be the length that we took to build that Lego caravan that I finished up on Thursday. This will be a much shorter build series, and then we'll get the next things. I got a kick-ass backlog. I am waiting for a small little old kit from G Gundam that someone bought off my wish list that never arrived from Sazabi. Maybe that'll be showing up at some point soon. I don't know, but apparently that was purchased. I mean, it was confirmed purchase on my Amazon. I just never got it. But I have a lot of cool shit in my backlog, so we're gonna have a lot of good times building model kits in the near future. I have one Lego set, but I'm gonna take a little while before I have anyone vote on it or have the option to vote on it, because I think I'm a little Legoed out for a bit there, and I'd rather focus on some model kits. Also, especially with the God Gundam coming, I do want to do that soon. Because that's going to be fucking rad. That's shipping next week, so I'll have that soon. That's shipping sometime next week, and then, yeah, looking forward to that, because that's going to be rad to have. And then also, just a bunch of stuff. I have that a Heavy Arms Custom, the like mid-season replacement Heavy Arms, where it just has a double barrel gun. It's identical. It's the exact same kit I've already built. Literally, it's the same exact kit, and there's an extra page. There's just an extra page for the extra steps you have to do. And it's just like, do these 2 steps. Okay, that's all you have to do. So we could just upgrade the kit I already have, but we'll build it from scratch because it's fun. It's fun to do. I have that. I have like the kit I bought in New York, the old kit I bought that I'd love to build at some point. I said that I have the kit coming in at some point. I'm gonna get that the Lithal Firth. I don't know what it's called. We haven't heard it be said in the anime, but the Witch from Mercury Gundam series. I pre-ordered a kit from that, and we don't know when it's releasing to USA, when USA Gundam Store is going to get it. So at some point, I will build a model kit from the new series that's starting in October. When? I don't know, but I will get that. All right, we got to do the hands, but we're not going to do the hands tonight. We're going to wrap things up here. Reminder that I am streaming tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, a celebration stream. Pat watches old wrestling tomorrow night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, probably about 2 hours, watching all kinds of old wrestling. It's going to be really fun. I hope you come and join me for that. It is my victory lap over some fundraising I did this week. So I said, because originally I was like, all right, well, I'll do a stream here to kind of really push the coffee and try to get people to donate. And then I just hit my goal within an hour or 2 hours. And I was like, oh, well, then it'll just be a celebration stream. So we'll just do that, which is nice. It's nice to be able to do that. It was very gratifying to not have those bills staring me in the face. All right, so we are going to rate. That is how we end every stream, is we're going to go find somebody out there doing cool shit, and then we're going to go hang out with them and be like, oh, what are you doing tonight? Hell yeah. Because that is how we end our streams here. We'll go find somebody doing something cool. Who's streaming on a Saturday? Dan is playing Fortnite for a lot of people. I mean, we haven't rated Dan in a long time, and Dan playing Fortnite seems like something that it would be fun. Let's rate Dan Reichert, who's playing Fortnite. I think that's a perfectly fine idea. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Please come along on this raid. And then also come back tomorrow. Are you winning, Dan? Yes. Tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be, watching wrestling. Please come hang out there. Monday night, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, continuing with this kit and then working on the other half of it, of the duo. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you had a great time. I hope you enjoyed. This was a good Saturday night. Wasn't going out, but it was hanging out with me. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.